Two and a Half Men was a series known for its witty dialogue and uproarious antics, but not always for consistency. In this video, we're exploring the various bloopers and mistakes that have snuck their way into this beloved sitcom. Join us as Facts First presents This Scene Wasn't Edited. Look closer at the Two and a Half Men blooper. Therapist transformation. Let's kick things off with a peculiar change concerning one of the show's supporting characters. In the initial episodes, Charlie's therapist was portrayed as a quirky professional specializing in child therapy. But as the series went on, not only did her personality undergo a noticeable transformation to showcase a dry sense of humor, but her specialization seemed to have taken a 180-degree turn. She transitioned from being Jake's child therapist to becoming Charlie's go-to for adult therapy sessions, an adjustment that isn't just a mere flick of a switch in the real world. Unsteady Set Walls. In the intricate world of set design, sometimes things can get a little shaky, literally. In the episode titled My Doctor Has a Cow Puppet, viewers were in for a surprise. As Rose manages to startle Charlie, the ensuing chaos reveals a little secret of the set. As Charlie bumps into a wall, audiences can see the entire wall wobble, shattering the illusion of the sturdy house interior and giving viewers a glimpse of the behind-the-scenes mechanisms. Jake's evolving intelligence. Jake's on-screen portrayal underwent a significant transformation as the series progressed. In the initial seasons, he was depicted as a relatively bright student whose academic struggles were attributed to the separation of his parents rather than a lack of intellect. But as the seasons rolled on, Jake seemed to lose his knack for academics, particularly math. This decline culminates in a rather hilarious scene in the 11th season where Jake confuses the letter O in the word million for a zero, a far cry from the bright student we met in the earlier seasons. The Great Book Swap. Sometimes it's the minor details that escape the vigilant eyes of the show's creators. One instance can be found right in the pilot episode, where Alan is seen having a conversation with his mother. As the scene transitions, eagle-eyed viewers might notice a sudden change in the pile of books beside Alan. Initially, a stack of 4 books with a white one on top is visible, but a blink later, the stack morphs into a larger collection with a prominent black textbook commanding the top spot. The Mia Parental Paradox. Here we'll address a continuity glitch involving Charlie and Mia's relationship dynamics. In earlier interactions, it was strongly implied that Charlie had already met both of Mia's parents. However, a later scene throws this fact into a whirlpool of confusion, as Mia introduces Charlie to her father as if they were meeting for the first time. This inconsistency left viewers scratching their heads. The Missing Half Man. As things moved towards the conclusion of Two and a Half Men, the 12th season sought to recapture its original magic by having Walden and Alan foster a child, signifying the half-man in the series title. But in a perplexing turn of events, this newly introduced character is conspicuously absent during the grand finale, not even earning a mention save for a fleeting line. It leaves viewers pondering the essence of the half-man in the closing chapter of this long-running series. Charlie's magical pour. One of the remarkable quirks about Charlie's character is his perpetual penchant for a drink, almost eternally spotted with a glass in hand, as if completing a particular portrait of nonchalant indulgence. But in an amusing display of on-screen magic, during the second episode of Season 2, Charlie seems to defy the basic principles of fluid mechanics, pouring a drink from a can that astonishingly remains sealed throughout the process. The Curious Case of Bridget and Herb's Sister. Throughout the series, we encounter an intriguing situation where Herb's sister marks her appearance as Charlie's fleeting romance in the initial seasons. The plot thickens when, in the 9th season, Bridget, Walden's ex-wife, steps into the spotlight as a main character, bearing a striking resemblance to Herb's sister, not only physically but also in her mannerisms. Curiously, this uncanny resemblance remains an unaddressed mystery, leaving viewers pondering the possible connection. The Herb-Greg Conundrum. Adding to the roster of quirky little Herb-related inconsistencies is the peculiar case of Herb himself, who seems to undergo a touch of an identity crisis as the series progresses. Initially known as Greg, the character evolves, or rather transmutes, into Herb over time, with no explanation to bridge the gap between the two personas. Despite sharing a profession and a last name, the transformation remains unexplained. Banana memory lapse. Let's pause for a moment to journey back to another amusing inconsistency involving Alan and his relationship with bananas. In the 22nd episode of Season 3, Alan remarks that he has abstained from eating bananas since his high school years. This statement quickly falls apart when considering Alan's on-screen snacking habits from the previous season, where he was vividly seen enjoying bananas on multiple occasions. Double Door Debacle. The charm of 2.5 Men often lies in its humor sprouting from awkward moments. In a slightly puzzling scene from the second season's 4th episode, keep your eyes peeled on Charlie as he exits a room with Jake, following a brief encounter with Alan and Judith in a compromising position. In a bizarre sequence, Charlie seems to shut the door not once, but twice from 2 different angles. Breaking the fourth wall, quietly. As the series approached its inevitable end, it seems the writers loosened their grip on the reins, allowing characters to shatter the fourth wall with increased frequency. These blatant breaks, often paired with a descent into lowbrow humor, oddly went unacknowledged by other characters, creating a somewhat disjointed viewing experience. Alan's mysterious financial flip-flop. In a rather astonishing narrative flip, we find Alan abandoning his work life after discovering a nest egg set aside for Jake's education, enabling him to retire and enjoy a carefree existence. But this retirement is abruptly reversed in the subsequent episode, with Alan suddenly reverting to his industrious ways without any explanation. The recurring faces of new characters. The series drew considerable criticism for its allegedly misogynistic portrayal of female characters, often dressing them in revealing attire, and more oddly, utilizing the same actresses to portray various roles across different seasons. Notably, the character Chelsea appears initially as a fleeting romance for Charlie, before later cementing her place as a main character, her earlier appearances oddly overlooked as the series progressed. Charlie's wavering decision on Alan's residency. A running subplot involves Charlie's indecisiveness about letting Alan live with him. Initially resistant to ejecting Alan at Mia's behest, Charlie undergoes a sudden change of heart, igniting a desire to remove Alan from his heart without a clear rationale, indicative of a continuity lapse in the script that adds to the list of quirky inconsistencies. Now it's time to hear from you. Who was your favorite character on 2.5 Men? Let us know in the comments section below.